The story you are about to hear happened 8 years ago when I worked at a megaplex movie theater in Orlando. It was a summer day and I was tearing tickets. Usually ticket rippers switched off after 2-hour shifts, but I enjoyed getting paid to just stand at the podium, doodle on the theater schedules, and pretty much do nothing. So I usually volunteered to just rip tickets for my entire 8-hour shift. Anyways, it was summer and it was a particularly hot and muggy day in Florida, so a lot of the female customers were wearing short shorts, tank tops, etc. Like any horny 17-year-old male, this was all rather relevant to my interests, and I got to the point where I needed to release the tension that had built up throughout the day. Towards the end of my shift, I took a 15-minute break and went into one of the handicapped restrooms to jerk off. You know, the nice restrooms with a single toilet, sink, and where you can lock the door. Now, when I do the deed, I like to be laying down. Don't ask me why, it's just something I've always done since I was little. I guess I like to be able to stretch out my legs, and I can also finish quicker that way. Since time was of the essence here, when I got into the handicap restroom, I laid out on the floor and proceeded to jerk it. They clean the restrooms regularly, and I'm not much of a germaphobe, so the fact that it was a restroom floor wasn't an issue. Anyways, I guess in my haste in getting in and getting off, I didn't properly lock the door. To this day, I don't know why the door didn't lock. I can only assume that I didn't turn the latch all the way. About halfway through my jerk-off session, the door opened and one of my female coworkers came in to clean. Now, I was laying on the ground along the wall that the hinges to the door were closest to, so when she opened the door and pushed it inwards, she didn't see me at first because I was hidden on the other side of the door. She managed to enter the restroom without seeing me laying there on the floor behind her with my pants down. I knew I was dead in the water and it was only a matter of seconds before she would turn around, so I had to think fast. At the time, I had recently watched some CNN documentary about kids with epilepsy. As the girl turned, I started convulsing on the ground and pretending to be having a seizure. The girl yelled, "Oh my God!" as I just lay there shaking violently on the ground and staring off into space. She ran out of the bathroom and started screaming in the lobby for someone to help. As soon as she stepped out, I quickly pulled up my boxers to at least conceal my penis. Luckily, the sheer terror of the door opening killed a good 75% of my erection on the spot, so I like to think that it didn't look like I had a boner. On the bathroom floor, I debated how to proceed. I knew people would be entering any second. Then I realized I was at the point of no return. The assistant manager of the theater soon burst into the bathroom, and I continued to convulse on the floor. He kind of just knelt by my side and put his hand on my shoulder as I continued to shake there like an idiot. I mean, there wasn't much he could have done. An ambulance arrived in literally 3 minutes. When the paramedics came in, I decided it was time to snap out of it. And so I stopped convulsing and just started to grovel on the floor and pretend not to know where I was. They put me on a stretcher and wheeled me through the lobby to their vehicle. A good-sized crowd had formed at this point. They were about to take me away in the ambulance, but I got off the stretcher and insisted that I was fine. I made up some story about having seizures my entire life, and that this happened to me a couple of times every year. I kept insisting that I was fine, and was able to talk the paramedics into leaving. The theater had my mom as an emergency contact, so she eventually came and took me home. I could never tell my parents what really happened, so to this day, they think I really had a seizure. In the following months, I had to take several neurological tests, had to do several overnights at the hospital, and was put on a few medications that I only pretended to have taken when in reality I flushed the pills down the toilet. Thank God for health insurance. In retrospect, it would have been better to have just gotten caught jerking off than to have had to go through all the lies, doctor appointments, and medical bullshit. After a while, it looked like the seizure was just a freak one-time thing, and it finally all just kind of went away. I ended up working at that theater for another couple years, and people were always really nice to me, and thought that I was just some poor schmuck who had a seizure while trying to take a shit.